Wonderful to be back here, finally getting back on track with the Mental Health Matters podcast here in Phoenix FM. I'm back at the Brentwood Center, and I have the pleasure of being joined by Nicky Smith and Melvyn Cooper, talking about Chat First, the mental well-being program. But Melvyn works at the community garden here at the Brentwood Center as well. And Nicky Smith is a Brentwood Leisure Services Manager.
That's it.
Fantastic.
It's a mouthful.
It is. So thank you for joining me here and for your time this evening. And I just basically want to find out a bit more about you, your roles here, and how it applies to mental health and the ways you're able to help people. So who wants to start first?
Well, shall I tell you a little bit about Chat First?
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
As a programme. So we launched Chat First this year, starting beginning of the year, January. We're a few weeks in. It seems like it's been forever already. So Chat First came about because we have a number of wellbeing programmes here, whether they're physical, mental, social wellbeing. We've got around 15 to 20 wellbeing programmes at the moment, and we wanted to pull them all together under one umbrella, which tackles the issue of isolation, loneliness, social exclusion, which pretty much runs underneath a lot of community wellbeing programs. So we launched Chat First as a brand at the beginning of the year, and we're currently in the process of trying to gain funding for a coordinator. So we'll have like an in-house social prescribing system going on. So anyone can just walk into the building, whatever their mental, physical, social wellbeing issue is or condition, and that coordinator will be able to refer them to a program that is most suited to them, that will give them the benefits of doing that activity or exercise, or even just sitting in the cafe having a coffee chat or gardening, which is a big thing this year.
Yes, fantastic. So how long have you been involved with the garden and creating it here, Melvyn?
Well, only just recently, perhaps over the last 6 months, since Nicky invited me to get involved. Although I've been involved in gardening most of my life, actually, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I also have the advantage of living near the centre, so it's very convenient for me to be able to pop over and do bits, help coordinate, as Nicky's asked me to do.
Okay. So that's how you found each other, really, because were you aware of Melvyn's background and his knowledge and experience with gardening?
Well, Melvyn's been working with us for a long time. Yeah. He's just won an award, actually, for Volunteer of the Year, because he is an amazing volunteer. So he's been running some football sessions with us for a long time,
right, and
works on the youth programme. But to be honest, it was a bit of a pun trying to get him involved in gardening. I had no idea he had such extensive knowledge in gardening.
Oh, fantastic.
But fate brought us together.
So in a natural progression or procession, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But there is this connection between sport and gardening, because I think it's generally accepted that gardening's good for your physical health, your mental health, and working with other people helps to combat loneliness. Yeah. And it also helps build community spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, and there's something about getting your hands in the soil, that connection with the earth, that's really, powerful as well, and really, healing. To be working like that all the time, even regardless of the weather, it's very nourishing.
And then you've got the pleasure and the satisfaction of seeing, beautiful flowers, lovely fragrance.
Yes, and even what you create,
and even growing vegetables.
Yes,
which we plan to do to be served up in the Brentwood Centre cafe.
Ah, fantastic.
That one carrot's got to go a long way. The garden actually launched last year. A group of us did a run called Parallel London and raised some money to start this community garden. We just had this space that we wanted to use, and we wanted it to be inclusive, so we needed raised beds and just somewhere for people to just hang out, really. And then it sort of developed, and Melvyn's taken a hold of it and really increased the participation and the volunteering and the partnerships that he's got involved. So I think this spring we should see some real big developments.
Yeah, sounds like it. And what's come up a couple of times already when you've been talking is the issues around loneliness and people's connection with each other. And this came up the last podcast, one of the last podcasts when I spoke to Chris Hood, and a good time to give him a shout out.
Yeah, hey Chris, hope you're doing all right in Norfolk.
His wonderful work that he did here at the Brentwood Centre with you guys and here in Phoenix FM, so much love to him and his involvement, and he's off to new pastures now. But he was very adamant, and one of the big things that he spoke about with the fitness programs here at the center, especially with people with some mental health issues, is that the fact that you get people together, and so they're not on their own, suffering on their own in silence. They're able to get out and about, meet people, and break through a lot of kind of shyness or any barriers about what could, trepidation that can happen when you come to a circumstance with other people. Somehow there's a very nourishing and supportive environment here where people can come and know that they will be looked after and supported, and then help will be at hand, as it were, to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Our new mental wellbeing program, actually, that is into its second week now. We have a Chat First support team, which is a group of people with lived experience. They have their mental health first aid as well. So they're about before the classes and after the classes, as well as during, to be there just as a like-minded person with the tools such as signposting to let people know other places they can go, or if they're in crisis, we've got the phone numbers that can help.
Yeah.
But the big thing is that meeting prior to the class and that meeting after, and pulling people together who have similar conditions, that they can talk about it, and there's no stigma at the Brentwood Centre, which is a big thing. We all openly talk about our mental well-being, probably more than our physical well-being now, but it's so important to make people feel comfortable and know that they're not alone in this sort of thing.
So how do people get in touch with you if they're having problems?
So we have an email address, we have a website, and we also have the phone number. So it's chatfirst@brentwoodleisure.co.uk. The phone number is the Brentwood Centre main reception number, who will put you through to the Chat First team, which is 01277 215 151. Or there's actually a contact form through our website as well, brentwood-centre.co.uk. So there's many ways, or just come in.
So people can come directly, they don't have to go get referred or anything like that.
There's the team are walking around in bright yellow t-shirts with Chat First support team on them, so you can't miss them. You could talk to any of those guys.
So is there sometimes, when you see people as they are with any particular issue, is there like a little program that can be developed for that individual person, or
Yeah, absolutely. So the coordinator can meet with whoever's coming in, or one of the Chat First team can come in, and they will just have a chat with the person, just find out whether they'll benefit from a mental wellbeing program, or whether they'll benefit from one of our dementia programs or our kids autism program. So we've got so much going on, it's just finding the right one that suits. Or they can just hang out in the garden with Melvyn.
So it sounds like work that you enjoy, because literally you're meeting different people all the time, and you're getting them together, and do you see positive changes in them as well during the time that you see people?
Yeah, massively. We ran the Fitness in Mind program for 3 years prior to this, and the outcomes were amazing, and that sort of set us up to take it forward to the new generation with Chat First. But you have big success stories, and you have people that haven't left their home for years and years and then come down. It might take them 3 or 4 times to walk through the door, but they get there, and then once they're there, they're there for life, because the feelings that it gives them, the natural endorphins of exercise, as well as the self-esteem for being social for the first time in ages. It's very rewarding. Great job.
Yeah, of course. Have you been noticing that already, Melvyn, as well?
Yes, and I was also going to say there's an important link with education of young people as well. We've already got links with the Endeavour School and Havering College, where learning about gardening is helping those young people develop practical skills and just, about gardening itself, and learning to enjoy about plants. Endeavour School in particular, they're working on a bee project.
Oh, great.
Which we hope will be rewarded with lots of insects and seen around the garden.
Yeah, I bet. That's something that should be taught to children, isn't it? Like naturally, to have that connection with the creation and production of plants, vegetables, and things like that. And for them to connect with that at that age will be powerful. And then who knows what that can carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Just got to ban ice creams, though, because with all those bees, we don't want anyone getting stung.
So, with your work, do you go to schools as well? So you went there directly? Do places like Endeavour?
Yes, I've visited the Endeavour School, met some of the boys and girls.
Yeah.
The same with Havering College. I actually delivered some cable drums to the college this week, and they're going to work on those in class, painting, making seats, covering them, and then when they're finished, they're going to come over in the minibus, deliver them, and join in with some of the gardening as well.
Yes.
So it's a really good two-way relationship.
And so there you can see the enthusiasm as well and wanting to learn.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And some of those boys and girls, they have got learning difficulties, but this is something really practical that they can get stuck into and with guidance really, enjoy.
Yeah, just something physical and tangible that you're, using your hands and as like I said, you're getting your hands in the soil and seeing something be created that can help all, people all sorts of, issues or not even issues, just something that help them with their learning and developing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, is there anything else about the kind of work that you wanted to kind of cover? I mean, like one thing I was going to ask is, have you noticed any, it's a bit of a broad question, but any underlying issues with people? I guess you see people with all sorts of issues, like as you said, they might not have left the house for ages, or are there people with like different types of anxiety and things like that? I just wonder if there's like any kind of themes that you feel people are sort of suffering from at the moment, or anything kind of...
I think this is something that we're hoping to look at through the data we're collecting, actually.
That's a good idea.
As I say, we've got all of these different programs. So we've got cardiac rehab, cancer rehab, doctor's referral. We've got the ACE Weight Matters, autism, kids, dementia. And all of these groups we know can benefit from exercise in some way, shape or form, or activity rather than exercise. I think exercise sport scares people sometimes, but it's just moving, and we know that these groups often feel quite depressed or quite anxious because of those conditions. So it's what comes first, really. Normally a physical disability could kick off a mental health problem. There's going to be so many overlaps, and it's going to be such an interesting project to follow over the year, because we're collecting that data. We're doing physical, mental and social wellbeing questions, so we can track what improves, see if people do relapse or if it makes people go downhill. But we're expecting the whole social aspect of exercise and group fitness and just coming into a public place is going to improve people's mental well-being and social well-being. And hopefully, it just gives people a place to come, even if they just want to have a cup of coffee. The cafe are doing this Thursday afternoon board game afternoon, so people can literally just come down and have a drink and play chess or tiddlywinks or whatever you play these days. I don't know, Kaplunk, does that still exist?
I think it might do.
Show my age. So I do think that maybe the underlying mental health and certainly loneliness theme is there, and it's quite apparent at the moment. I know the Prime Minister's just recently released a report about loneliness. Let's see. Ask us again in a couple of months, and we'll let you know if there's any trends that are being highlighted.
Well, that's the great thing about a facility like this, is that it's, you got a gym, you have the pool, you got everything. So you got a huge fitness program that's possible, and now you have people that are working with people with various issues and able and wanting to help them. So it's natural then, as a result, you can gather this data.
Yeah, and absolutely, and obviously not forgetting the community show as well. So last year we did Joseph. This year we've announced we're doing Godspell.
Right.
And just that whole community performance, that theatrical thing, the singing, the dancing, we know that's all good for the brain as well. So as well as being a leisure centre, we are an event venue as well. So we have all of this at hand.
Yeah.
So,
it's
the options are limitless.
Yeah, good to be able to do that and develop programs that can help like this as well. So
to be honest, it's early days with the garden.
Right.
In this wintry weather, it's not so inviting.
Not the best time of year to start this kind of project. But as you said, like when you first arrived, what you said is it's a good time of year to prepare for the growing season.
Yeah, especially the construction work, as I said, the building and the garden furniture.
Yeah.
And constructing the raised beds.
Yeah.
Which we're going to need later in the year. And they will be wheelchair user height.
Yeah.
So Wheelchair users will be able to join in the gardening as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah, fully accessible and inclusive.
Yeah, what got you into gardening in the first place, Melvyn? Back in when you first got that little itch.
Well, to be honest, it was in my grandmother's garden.
Yeah.
She was a widow, and I just had the opportunity to help her out at home, growing all different sorts of vegetables. I enjoyed it, and I've been at it ever since.
So you can apply that time, or how you felt in that time, to when you see the children now. And do you kind of see that in their eyes a little bit, that same little spark that you got?
Yes, and I've got grandchildren of my own.
Right.
So, I'm also wanting to encourage them to take up gardening, because I know how rewarding it is. Yeah,
indeed, on a practical level as well, like literally when you can grow your own vegetables, and I know many people that do that, fortunately, and if you're able to produce at a certain level, then it can almost be self-sufficient, which is a good way to get to, isn't it?
Well, and nationally as well, if we all grew more vegetables at home, we wouldn't need to import so much.
Yes, exactly.
Support British agriculture.
Yeah, that's right. So then that's another.
So when can we get some chickens so we can get eggs as well?
Yeah, that's another.
Yeah, and goats.
Box of ticks.
Oh my God, there's so many opportunities out there.
Right, we'll put that on the list.
Should we ask Roger?
We've got a big set of plans that we can create here.
Yeah, a nice little coffee hut, that'll go down well. I think a nice little coffee hut in the garden.
So going on from that, not only are we looking for volunteers, to help me in the garden, but because it's a new project, we're looking at perhaps sponsors, local companies, to help us with the cost of like timber for the raised beds, topsoil, compost to fill them, small tools, plants and seeds. Anyone can come forward and offer help in terms of time or money, then that's going to be really appreciated.
Or the physical things themselves.
Yeah,
that would be useful. Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No, I don't think so. I think obviously if anyone has any questions or wants to come in and see what we do, just come down, come join us for a coffee before one of the classes, and we'll tell you about everything we have to offer. Melvyn can be contacted on...
Yes, if anyone would like to contact me directly by email, that's bcgarden@brentwoodleisure.co.uk, or that can be found on the Chat First website.
Okay, so is this what you're focusing on at the moment, Nicky? I know there's many different things, as you said, that you've been covering, and I spoke to Chris before about Fitness in Mind that you mentioned as well. Is there anything else that you're brewing up?
God, no, this is enough for now.
Sounds like it.
We're a really busy centre at the moment.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
The whole new event programme as well. We've got so many amazing shows coming
Just looking
up.
On the Facebook page at all the activities
so
must be,
it's brilliant. It's really good, and I love it being so busy. So, just letting people know to keep an eye out on what we do. We produce a magazine every 4 months as well, so just grab a mag. It gives you everything what we're doing. New classes, and we've got a new boxing room, and so much.
So basically all these different activities, and with people getting involved as well, so it's just a case of getting the energy through, so anybody that does join and is able to take part is bound to feel benefits, basically.
Oh, absolutely. And there is something for everyone, literally. So I think our oldest person that comes to the tea dance has just hit 101. So there's no upper limit, no lower limit. We've got something for everyone,
Okay, that sounds fantastic. That's a good point to end it on. And, thank you for your time and coming to talk about it, because, you both are doing so much and so much to help. And, hopefully keeps going and more people will keep feeling better.
Yep. Thank
Wonderful.
you, Graham.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks, Nicky. Thanks, Melvyn, for joining me and talking about Chat First.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.